Shri Sathya Sai Lokaseva Gurukulam online classes. In today's session, we are going to study about conservation of plants and animals. So obviously, you all might have heard about the words plant and animals. So just look around you, you can see many plants and animals. So then what is conservation here? Conservation means saving them. Okay, so in this topic, we are studying about how to save the plants and animals. So when the talk come about saving, it means that they are under threat, means they are under danger. So we will study what are the threats they are facing and how we can save those plants and animals for our well-being. Let's begin. So in this chapter, you will be studying about all these contents, mainly deforestation and its causes, consequences of deforestation, so conservation of forest plants and wildlife. Along with that, under that, biosphere reserves, national parks, wildlife sanctuaries. So these are the main aspects you will be studying under conservation of plants and animals. So other topics are endemic species, flora and fauna, recycling of paper, reforestation, etc. So it is said that forests are our lifeline. So lifeline means we cannot survive without the forest. Some of you might think, no, I don't have seen the forest or there are no plants around me, but still I am living. I have car, I have food, enough food, everything I have and I am living. But if you trace back to the origin of your needs, you will end up in the forests. So the three main basic things, the air, water and food, we all get these from due to forest, presence of forests. Let's take one by one. The air that we breathe is pure and through which we can respire, that is possible only due to the forests. So forests, they prepare the plants, they prepare their own food through the process of photosynthesis. So in that process, what do? They take in the carbon dioxide and leave out the oxygen. What do? We take in the oxygen and we leave out carbon dioxide. So that oxygen is supplied because of presence of the plants. Then coming to the water. In your previous standards, you have studied water cycle, which is the main reason from which we are getting good amount of water to drink or any of other purposes. So from the forest we are getting the water and food. Since there is good amount of rainfall every year, we are able to grow the crops and we get our food. So forests are our lifeline. Getting into details, forest is a system comprising various plants, animals and microorganisms. You cannot just say that forest is just a crowd of plants. No. So there also exists other animals and microorganisms. Microorganisms means those which you cannot see with your naked eyes. They can be seen only with the help of microscope. We know that. So again, the various components of the forest are interdependent on one another. So they are not just existing there. They are all interdependent. It is said various components. What does that mean? Components means the two categories, that is living component and non-living component. Let's take the example to understand the interdependency. So plant is a living being, right? And then what do plants need to survive? It needs water, it needs carbon dioxide and all, and also sunlight. So these factors are non-living. So plant being a living being, it is dependent on non-living beings. So this is interdependency between living and non-living. Second example, let's consider a plant and a deer. So these both are living beings, they are interdependent. So deer is an example for herbivore animal, means it consumes only plant products. So to gain its food, it is dependent on the plants. So there is interdependency between living and living component. So that is the interdependence. Moving on, forest influence climate, water cycle and air quality. So this is what we are going to study in detail. Then, but in the present context, what is happening, even though so many importance we know about the forest, they are under threat. Due to what? Due to human activities. We are the reason for the destruction of forests. So hence, conservation of forests is necessary. So conserving the forest, we can save our animals. Here, by now we know that there are great variety of plants and animals exist on the earth, and they are essential for the well-being and survival of mankind. So what is happening? So we said that there is a threat for all these plants and animals. Why? What is the reason? The main reason is deforestation. What is it, deforestation? See, in this image, you can see the crowd of plants in the form of lungs. So it is representing the forest. The forests are called as green lungs of the earth. Why they are called green lungs? They provide us pure air to breathe. So air is the main component with which we are respiring. So it is called the green lungs. You can also see here a patch of forest is being destroyed. So our lungs are destroyed. If the lungs being destroyed in the human being, will we be able to survive? No. So what happens? So deforestation means it is clearing of forests and using that land for some other purposes. So what we are doing? We are cutting the trees and using that land for some other purposes. Purposes like procuring land for cultivation. So to extend our agricultural lands, we are clearing the forests and there we are cultivating the crops, which is not good. Then building houses and factories. So there is population is over exploded nowadays. So we are finding the place in forest, there we are building up the factories and buildings. So for that sake we need to clear the forest. Then making furniture. So the wood which is used for making the furnitures. Furnitures means the chairs, sofa sets it might be, or anything for that matter, the bench and desk we use. So they are all furnitures which are made up of wood. Then using wood as fuel, it's another reason for deforestation, that wood is burnt and we use for cooking. So again here it is a cause for deforestation. You can list some other also. For construction of roads, say for example it might be national highway, state highway. So what do? According to their plan, if it is passing through a forest, that patch of forest is to be cleared. Only then the roads can be constructed. So again deforestation. So these are all, there are n number of reasons if we go on listing. So these are all man-made causes, okay, which are happened due to human activities. Next is some natural causes due to which the deforestation is happening. The first one is forest fires. So in this picture you can see the fire is spread out all through the forest and the trees are getting burnt. How it happens and when it happens? Mainly in the summer season. So if you have observed outside, the trees are all dried. So what happens here is during summers the temperatures are very high and also plant material is very dried. When the forests are dense, due to action of the wind, the trees might clash each other. Okay. To understand this, let's when you are sitting, just rub your palms against each other. After some time, you can feel the heat between your palms. So that's what happens in the forests also. So when they rub each other, there is a friction and there is production of heat. Also there is natural heat present in the atmosphere due to sunlight. So this causes sparks. The fire sparks are produced. Even a single spark, small spark is enough to destroy whole of the forest. So this is how a large amount of forests are destroyed in a very small amount of time. So we cannot regenerate them easily again. So coming to the second point, severe droughts. So droughts is the condition where there is no rainfall for many years. So when there is no water, plants cannot grow. So they start dying one by one. So it causes deforestation. So we lose the vegetation. So let us list some of the consequences of deforestation. Consequences means what are the bad effects that are being caused due to deforestation. The first one is deforestation increases the temperature and pollution level on the earth. Then it also increases the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, decrease in the groundwater level, fertility of the soil is affected, increased chances of natural calamities like drought and floods. So we have listed so many consequences. So after seeing all this, do you think the nature is balanced? No. So ultimately, totally it disturbs the balance in the nature. Now let's see one by one in detail. First one is global warming. So globe means it is earth. Warming means there is something related to heat. Okay. So plants need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. So in the process of photosynthesis, what they do with the help of carbon dioxide, water, minerals, they prepare their own food also in the presence of sunlight. So they consume carbon dioxide. Okay. So fewer trees. So less number of trees means what? Lesser number of carbon dioxide is utilized from the atmosphere and more of that is left out in the atmosphere. They can take up only less amount of it because there are less number of trees. Okay, to understand this, imagine that today you are in a school. It's your lunch time. You have white rice in your box which you doesn't like. Okay. So if you, unfortunately today your friends are also absent. If your friends would have been there, you would have shared among yourself and you would have emptied the box. Okay. But today your friends are not there. What you are doing? You can have how much you can eat. So rest of the rice is left in the box. Now compare this rice to the carbon dioxide and compare you and your friends to the number of trees. So when you are alone, you could consume only little bit of it and rest of it is left in the box. Same way, when there are less number of trees, they can take up only lesser amount of carbon dioxide. So most of it is left in the atmosphere. So what does it cause? The more number of or more amount of carbon dioxide is left in the atmosphere. See, in this picture you can see here, this is the earth and this is the atmosphere. The sun rays are falling on the earth. By the laws of reflection, you know that when a light rays hit the solid surface, it gets reflected back. Okay. Here in this case, what happens? When there is carbon dioxide accumulated in the atmosphere, it is one of the greenhouse gas. Okay. Carbon dioxide is one of the greenhouse gas. What is the nature of greenhouse gases is? They do not allow this reflected energy to go out. What do? They act as a filter and they trap the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So by trapping the sun rays, what happens? Carbon dioxide traps the heat rays reflected by the earth. So the carbon dioxide is trapped. They are trapping the sun or heat rays in the atmosphere. So it results in the increase of Earth's temperature. So that is nothing but global warming. So there is increase in temperature of the Earth. So what does happen after increase in the temperature of the Earth? So this increase in temperature, it disturbs the water cycle. So we know in the water cycle, the first process, that is evaporation, what happens? The water in the liquid form due to solar energy gets converted into water vapors. Okay, water vapors. So here when there is more amount of heat, more amount of water is getting converted into water vapors and getting into the atmosphere. So after, the next process is condensation. So for condensation to take place, there should be lesser temperature. But due to global warming, the temperatures are high. So it is disturbing the process of condensation. Thereby, the clouds are not formed. So the rainfall is reduced. The amount of rainfall is reduced. But there is continuous evaporation taking place. So finally, one day, what happens? The water which is on the surface of the earth in that region will be emptied. And there is no rainfall too, which leads to the condition of droughts. So this causes droughts. So that is the effect on climate and water cycle which we have seen in previously. Now coming to effect on soil. Deforestation causes changes in soil properties like nutrient content and the texture. So this happens mainly due to soil erosion. Soil erosion means washing away of top layer of the soil by the action of water and wind. So the topmost layer will be washed away. It will be taken away due to water and air. So this removal of top layer of the soil exposes the lower hard and rocky layers. So here in your previous standards we have studied about soil profile. In that what we have studied, the top layer is fertile and there is presence of humus in it. The humus means the organic matter whichever present on the topper layer which gets decayed and converts into manure. So that is the humus. The soil is fertile. The plants can be grown very well there. But due to deforestation, what has happened? Soil erosion has happened. If there would be plants, what they act as? They act as clip for the soil. Means they hold the soil tightly. Take for example, when we dry the clothes outside, we clip them with a clip because they should not be washed away or they taken away by the action of wind. So here roots acts as clip for the soil. So they hold the soil tightly. So since there are no trees, there is no clip for the soil. So soil is loose, it can easily be carried away by the action of wind and water. So now we have lost the top layer of the soil due to soil erosion. Now what is left is this down layers which is very hard and not fertile. So we cannot grow the plants in such soil. So ultimately what happens? That land gets converted into deserts. Okay. So desert means it is a wasteland or barren land. So this process is called as desertification. So ultimately converting of fertile land into a wasteland. So that is desertification. Then what happens? Deforestation also leads to decrease in the water holding capacity of the soil. So I said you that the roots helps as they support the soil, right? They hold the soil. At the same time, if there is water on the surface, roots also help the soil to absorb that water. So when there are no trees and no roots, what happens when there is water on the surface of the soil? It cannot be absorbed by the soil alone. So most of the amount of water is left on the surface itself, and nowadays you can see most of the water in the TV's news channels. Now you can see the flood conditions. What happens? Everywhere there are buildings, the roads are all concrete, there are no trees, so there is no infiltration of water. The water cannot be absorbed down. So water is all flowing all around. So that leads to the condition of flooding. So deforestation also causes floods. So due to all these effects, ultimately animals are also affected. See, forests are the natural homes for animals. If your home is destroyed, what happens? Are you happy? No. Same case, if the forest, the natural home of the animals, when they are disturbed, when they are destroyed, so animals are also affected. So hence there is need for conservation of plants and wildlife. So like coming to the main point, conservation of forest and wildlife. So now we have studied what are the consequences of deforestation and due to which how the animals are affected. Now it's time to take the step to resolve those problems and save our forests and wildlife. So government is also taking up certain actions to save our forests. Here government lays down rules, methods and policies to protect and conserve them. So how? They are announcing the areas or they are declaring some of the areas as protected areas, and the conservation of plants and animals is taken up there. So here protected areas, these are the areas where flora, fauna and their natural habitats are conserved. Conserved means they are saved Natural habitat means where the animals live naturally. Okay, their habitats, they are safe. So we have types of protected areas, that is wildlife sanctuary, national parks and biosphere reserves. So what is common in all these is some of the activities are prohibited here. The human interference is prohibited. How? The plantation. Plantation means cropping the same variety of plants. For example, if you have some land, you will be planting all areca nut plants there. So that is called areca nut plantation or coconut plantation. So plantation. So you cannot go and do plantation in the forest areas, in the protected areas. And cultivation. So we studied in the causes of deforestation that we are encroaching into the forest land and we are converting it into agricultural lands. So that is not allowed in the protected areas. Then grazing. You cannot take the cattle for grazing in the protected areas. Felling of trees is not allowed. Hunting. That is killing of animals for the sake of food. That is also prohibited. And poaching. So there is difference between hunting and poaching. So hunting is, I said, killing the animals for the sake of food. Poaching means here animals are killed for their valuable parts. For their valuable parts. For example, take elephant. It has a its trunk is so valuable, so many ornaments are made from it which are very precious. So nowadays or before, elephants used to be killed for that purpose, to extract their and put them in the form of ornaments. So that is prohibited here. Another example you might take the claws of tigers. So animals are killed for the purpose of their precious parts. So that is poaching. So all these activities are prohibited in the protected areas. So this is the how protected areas are being under check or control to avoid the destruction to the forest and plants and animals. So in detail we'll study in the next session. I hope you all have understood till here. So let's go on to some homework questions. The first one is, what is global warming? Then mention any two natural causes of deforestation. Third one is, what is soil erosion? 4. List few causes of forest fires. So solve these questions and be attentive for the next class. Thank you. Jai Sir.